Hi guys, I'm Steex, Audio Video Production here at the Guitar Summit 2023 at the booth of Lichtlaerm.
Lichtlaerm Audio, yes.
It's correct. Okay, so let's talk about all the goodies that you have here and the idea behind.
Sure. So I've been like a musician for like 15 years now, touring bands, like studio, whatever. And I'm in contact like with a lot of studio people, and I know what they need, and I know what I need. And also, I always was poor, so I started building my own. And come on, like, I'm gonna show you around.
Okay, let's see. Come here.
Okay, so this is our pedal board for the Guitar Summit. We're starting with this amazing 𝙤𝙤 volume pedal. You know it. I'm not going to tell anything because it's not mine. So we use it as a glorified splitter actually to do like a 3-cable method with our noise gate. So this is a VCA based noise gate. So you can use it with 4-cable method.
Okay.
You trigger it from your guitar, put it in the loop, and it quiets everything. Okay. No matter which channel you're on, you can go to the clean channel and it will not destroy your signal.
Only one knob, so
one knob. It's fixed. Idiot proof.
Okay. So the attack and release, it's fixed.
It's adaptive.
Oh, adaptive.
It's adaptive.
Okay.
Like it's using kind of an envelope follower to adjust like attack and release to what you're playing.
Okay,
like
perfect.
In real time, and it's analog.
It's analog.
It's completely analog.
Okay.
Like all of our pedals are analog except for the reverbs.
Okay, perfect.
So, from there we go into our clean boost.
Yeah.
Like, people like to compare it to like the Fortin stuff, but it's way more flexible. Like you have up to 50 decibels of boost, so you can probably turn like a Fender Champ into a death metal machine. A cut knob to control the tightness of your signal, and you can add a 4-band EQ.
Yep.
Bass, low mids, high mids, treble. It's something that I do a lot. You will see on the other pedals as well. I like split mids because the guitar lives in the mids.
Yeah,
and
of course.
So you should need to have control over the mids more than anything.
And here you can control the boost alone and the EQ
exactly,
alone.
But the boost you can only add to the EQ. You can only add to the boost.
Okay.
But you can turn it on so you can see like, hey, if I turn it on, the boost will be on as well.
Okay.
With this one, it's kind of the same thing, but it's more like a Clone Centaur transparent overdrive.
Okay.
So you got.
It's more crunchy.
Yes, exactly. Like it's. In general, it's an overdrive. You can play blues with it, but I don't. I use it as a boost. It has the like glorified clone buffer. You can also use it as true bypass. There is a switch on the inside.
Okay.
Also 4-band EQ, but with a boost that is, in this case, usable separately.
Okay.
So you can use it as a standalone EQ or standalone boost.
Oh, okay.
Or you can use it as a standalone overdrive, or both together.
Okay.
That's also one reason why we still keep the compact enclosures. First, they save up real estate. Second, you can press both buttons at once.
Yes, with one foot.
Exactly. This is one of our best sellers. It's like a tube screamer kind of thing. So you have your gain and level from the tube screamer, but replace the tone with our typical like 4-band EQ. You know it already now. 3 different clipping settings, like classical tube screamer. This is like a Paul C. Timmy kind of thing.
Okay.
And LED clipping, which is like high headroom and really nice if you want to boost like a crunchy amp into metal territory.
Okay. And the blend?
The blend is like the standout feature. It's not just a clean blend. It has like a parallel loop. Like you can put what you would do in the studio. Like you put something in parallel with the tube screamer and blend it and mix like best of both worlds without stacking them.
Okay.
So you don't add like, you can put this in the loop and do like a middle thing of like the tube screamer boost kind of thing and modern metal boost.
Oh, it's
without
super interesting.
like getting overboard in gains, which happens really fast.
And we have also the send return here.
Exactly, that's for the loop.
Okay.
So you can put this in the loop. You can flip the polarity, like the phase of the loop, so you don't have phase cancellations, or you have them if you want them.
Okay.
So
it's super versatile, this pedal.
It is. It's a great studio tool. It just went through the roof when we put it on the market like 2-3 months ago. Like they're sold out constantly, like in our shop, at our dealers, wherever.
Wow.
Like this is based on a Proco Red, but as you can see, it has a lot more knobs. We added an active EQ, cut control that you know from this and from our amp, You've been at the presentation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So it does like the whole like sludgy doomy to modern thing,
Yeah.
which we use on almost everything that has gain. Because
Yes.
you can't just use it for that, you can also use it to adjust it to a tuning. Like
Yes.
if you have a low-tuned guitar, you have to kick out bass to have like
Of
a
course.
usable signal. So
More tighter.
exactly. It's way louder than your typical red. It has more gain. Bass and highs are shelving filters with 16 decibels of boost or cut. You have different clipping styles or like different eras of the red circuit that you can
Okay.
choose, and like a compression switch that turns it into like more of an overdrive thing, and independable usable boost.
Okay.
It can be treble boost, mid boost, or full
Okay,
range
with the
boost.
range switch.
Exactly. 36 decibels of boost, so also more than enough for
Yeah,
anything.
of course.
This is our newest release. Released on Thursday, sold out everywhere
Yes,
already.
I know you have 2 new pedals for this
one,
Guitar
one
Summit.
new pedal.
One new pedal?
One new pedal, 2 collaborations with first Driftwood amplifiers and Harper's guitars.
Okay,
The other release is our amp and cabinet, which is in the test booth.
okay.
We can step by there later if you want.
Yeah.
So this is like an HM2, like it's like this end of the world sound, like Dismember at the Gates Swedish death metal.
Okay.
The original was like totally overblown, but because that's what we do, we added 3 times more gain even, 3 times the level, our cut control that you know already. This is like the typical HM2 EQs that are like crazy, like they're super
yeah,
gnarly.
the grind here.
Yes, yes, yes. You heard it upstairs. It went
Christmas.
just over the top.
Yep.
Then we added parametric mids and a presence control
Okay.
to keep it like. If you turn it down, it also reduces like noise that comes in, and you can use it as a preamp as well because it's so loud. And you can even blend it with like the preamp of your amp because it has the same
Exactly.
blend that you know from this one
Yeah.
already. Again, polarity can be switched. It has 2 completely separate distortion circuits in it, and you can choose like if you want the classic gnarly HM2 thing,
Modern or classic.
or modern, which is like more amp-like.
Okay.
And we put our whole key and gate in there. Like,
Okay.
It's triggered.
It's built in the gate.
Yes,
This one.
yes, it's triggered from the input and it's placed after the blend. So everything you put in the loop is also gated already.
Okay.
So
Okay.
put some distortion in there, turn up the gate, and both will be quiet.
Okay. And if I use this one with the send and return in the amplifier?
You can do it, yes.
Yeah?
You have to be careful with like the level of the channel because
Okay.
amps have like they're operating on like 300, 400 volts,
Yeah.
and it's just different magnitude. So
Okay.
keep this one down and be careful with like the channel volume. Compensate with the master
Okay.
or this level.
Okay.
This is more like a big muff. It's like for you can do like David Gilmour stuff, but the artwork wouldn't work for Pink Floyd fans, I guess. So it's mainly for doom and sludge, like heavy, slow, down-tuned music, and it's a bit of a sister pedal to the Ritual because it has the same EQ. It has a depth pod, which is kind of like our cut pod but inverted, and you can go from distortion all the way to like super blown out fuzz.
Okay.
It has a clean blend, no loop in this case, because big muffs are really popular with bassists.
Okay.
So it works great with bass. A compression pot that blends between different clipping settings. So you can go from open and dynamic to compressed and totally gained out to complete insanity.
And also useful to blend with
Exactly.
with the
And you
bass
can-
because you want the distortion not on the bass, low
You-
end.
Yes, you want transients in the bass, you want dynamics,
Yeah.
and like keep the low end intact. Like if
Exactly.
you distort the low end on the bass, it just starts farting
Yes.
out.
Yes.
Yeah, and it also has a boost, and we added the crazy EQ that you know from the HM2 as a blend. Like it's maxed out, but you
Okay.
can blend it in. So it goes from like this way. It's just a clean boost, but you can turn
Okay.
it in. There's like a pedal by Dunn FX. It's called the Death Knob. And it's
Okay.
really popular. It's like a 200 euro pedal. This is also 200 euro. It has a Death Knob built in.
Yeah. Okay. so
So-
two pedal in one.
Exactly, exactly. Like most of ours are 2 pedals in one.
Yeah,
so.
of course.
This is our best seller, like by far. It's a preamp distortion. You heard it. I used it as a preamp and as a distortion in the amp.
Sounds killer.
It has 6 EQ controls. Like you have a depth and presence, which is really useful if you want to use it as a preamp.
Yeah.
If you put it at noon, it's like really great as a distortion. But when you play into the power amp, you usually need to boost the highs because it doesn't do this like clean channel.
It's darker, the
yes,
sound.
Exactly. So it has insane amounts of gain. It has like insane amounts of level. Like usually when you use it into the clean channel, you have it at like 9 o'clock.
Okay.
But because it's intended to be a preamp, you can go really loud. Like
Okay.
It can be louder than an amp channel actually.
Oh.
We have gain 1 and gain 2.
Yep.
They're not stackable, nothing. It's just 2 presets. You can dial in like a rhythm tone, lead tone, and switch between them.
Okay.
It's like 2 channels, kinda.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is our like loop, our not metal-based section. But this one kinda is. It's like an EQ. We have a parametric mid EQ
Yes.
and graphic EQ. It's super high headroom. It's, you know, EQs are not sexy, but this is my favorite pedal in the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's like just the best. You can use the graphic EQ and the level, or the parametric
mids.
mid separately,
Yep.
or together, like as you like. You can mix
I
and
really
match.
like to use EQ to destroy my DI before
Yes,
the
yes,
amplifier
yes, exactly.
to get a really bright tone
Yeah.
from my
Yeah,
DI.
yeah, you got this hair, like
Exactly.
can bring it back. Yeah, this is great for exactly
for toucher
that.
sound.
Yes. This here is like the first pedal that has an artwork from our new like fixed artworker. She's amazing. Like look at this. It's just
amazing.
beautiful. It's Cassandra. It's an analog phaser and univibe in one.
Yep.
The whole signal stays analog. The control is digital. So you have like
Yes, of course, the tap tempo, it's
tempo.
digital, of course.
Exactly. You have the classic like great feedback depth controls. It has an external input for the tap that you can also use with
Yep.
MIDI clocks or something. So you can really like have it be controlled by a loop switcher or something that comes from your DAW. So
Okay.
it also has an expression. So if you use the LFO that's built in, the expression changes like the middle point, which gives you like different phaser tastes.
Okay.
But if you turn it out and you use the expression, it becomes like a manual phaser. It's like a wah, but as a phaser.
Oh, fantastic.
And we also added an FX loop, so it sends just the modulated signal through like whatever. Like you can use it like to just have like a distorted phaser on a clean signal, or I love it with a delay. Like you have like a delay that places the phased signal like slightly behind what you're playing, and it's great for ambient. It has like 8 waveforms.
Yeah,
This new
it's really also interesting from here.
Yes.
Really complicated.
Yes, exactly. Like it's like you can see it on the LED here. Like it's completely randomly jumping. Like you heard it upstairs. What's this like stalagmite cave thing where it's like ping, pong, pong, pong. Yeah. This here is our one of our reverbs. It also does this like sample and hold thing. You can use it just as a reverb, but we added 2 controls and a switch where you can choose modulations that you can add. And like you can add modulation with the effect and control the speed. The middle one is a sample and hold, which is pretty much what I just explained with Cassandra. Then you have call-ups. I can't even describe how it sounds. Like it's a ring modulator, an octaver, and a bit crusher that gets faded into your reverb and faded out completely on random. So it sounds like your guitar signal is
Like
randomly
particles.
falling apart and putting itself back together.
Okay.
And Nova is also like a bit crusher, but with a shimmer. Like it's like a lo-fi shimmer that's like also really crazy.
Super interesting.
Yeah, it also has an expression, so you can blend in the modulations with it. It has a ramp switch that ramps the decay or the rate.
Okay.
With decay you can go for infinite reverbs, like create pads to play over. It has an FX loop, so you can send your reverb through any other effect as well. So you just have it distorted or whatever, like put a chorus on it or even split it and have like a stereo setup from it.
Wow.
This is like, it's pretty much the same from the features, but the modulations are different. Here we have a phaser, a tremolo, and a shimmer with a chorus, which is great for like shoegaze kind of stuff.
Yeah. Also for clean tone.
Also for clean tones, yes. Of course, we have switchable trails, so if you turn it off, it can still like trail out naturally or be cut off as you like.
So you have the tail basically of the sound
exactly.
when you bypass it.
Yes, like spillover is also what you call it. Which is really interesting because we added a feature to our knobs. Like if you press them, it turns off or on.
Okay.
But if you hold them, it recognizes it and it goes back to the initial state. Which is great if it's turned on and you go like, you play a chord, press both at once, so it becomes infinite, creates a pad, but turns the reverb off so you can play over it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you let go, it goes back with reverb on, so everything that you play goes into the reverb again, but the pad is gone. But it's still trailing off naturally.
Yeah.
So,
super interesting.
What's maybe also interesting, like all our gain pedals run on higher voltages. Like they run on 9 volt, but they create like 36 volts internally. So you have super high headroom, lots of dynamics.
Great.
Yeah, I would say that's it for the pedal board. Like, if you want to know anything, just...
Yeah, and also the amplifier is new.
Yes, it's brand new. We don't have it on the website. We just teased it like 3 days before the summit.
Yep.
And yeah, it's been like the standout thing here. Like everyone wanted to play the amp. Right now it's in the test booth, so you can finally play it loud. Yeah. Because like headphones is nice, and
I know.
have to do a shout out to 𝙤𝙤. Like they saved our day, like the whole summit, because doesn't matter. It's 𝙤𝙤, it's not going to break. Yeah, it sounds great, but if you hear an amp loud in the room, it's
different.
Yes.
It's different. You can hear the cone, the movement of the cones.
Yes, and you can feel the punch in the chest when you play low notes.
Exactly.
I actually punched the microphone.
Yeah, no problem.
They felt it as well.
So if you want to listen how it sounds, the amplifier, you have the clip now. So guys, if you want to know more about the Lichtlaerm, you can go on the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.